Alright, what's up guys? I want to go over the ES short that I took today. And before we continue, here's proof of my executions. This is my Twitter. You guys can see I went short on the 3 minute time frame, which I'll show you here in a second, and why I did that. And you guys can see the cover down here. Um, the first thing I was looking at was, since Tuesday, we had a bullish S&P on NASDAQ on the higher time frame because ES took previous day low, but NASDAQ did not. You guys can see here. Um, so going into the day, I was more bullish bias, but I ended up seeing that the daily SIBI was right here. And on the 4 hour, we were also inside of a 4 hour FVG, which is right here. And what I was looking for was this. I didn't like how price failed to close over this high here. And going into the day, I knew that we had CPI at 8:30. That's a very high impact news driver. So I wanted to let that play out. I don't like to have any kind of thesis going into the day before any kind of really high impact news like that, because it can change what you're looking for pretty significantly. So I let that play out. And this is what the hourly chart was looking like. I saw that we potentially maybe put in a London low, but I didn't like how we had such smooth lows down here. And if this was going to run, I ideally wanted to see 8:30 go lower and then go higher. So here is this high from Tuesday, and from CPI, ES took this high, and then going into 9:30, this is what I was looking for. I wanted an hourly CSD because we were being sponsored by a daily SIBI, a 4 hour SIBI. We have two pools of liquidity swept, and now all I need is confirmation on the lower time frame. So this to me is the confirmation. All I need. I'm shorting the weaker pair, and the price actually went much lower on ES than Nasdaq. So my drawn liquidity for my short bias was this rejection block here, and then of course we had the Asia low and London low as my draw. But all I need is a 1.5 to 2 hour trade. So after, and I'm not looking at this as any kind of area of support. The hourly CSD is telling me everything I need to know since it's being sponsored by a higher time frame key level. So I went into the 15 minute to see kind of what was going on, and I saw that we had this 15 minute breaker here that I wanted to see support price lower. So we wick into the hourly order block and this 15 minute breaker once we close below. And so to me, that's when I go into the lower time frame and I look for my entry signature. So I wasn't looking at the 5 minute, but this would be your 5 minute CSD right here. You can go short then with the stop loss at the swing high. This high should not get breached, but I was on the 3 minute time frame and I waited for this CSD here. I went short as soon as the price closed below, and so my RR looked like this. I got filled at 98 and a quarter with a stop loss at the high. So 21 point stop and a 1.5 R trade was right here. So ideally I was targeting for, I was hoping for a 2, or I wanted a 2R trade, but I did not want to target the rejection block. And the morning was high resistance liquidity, so I was content with the 1.5R trade. And so once I saw my confirmation on the 3 minute, and also if we look at the higher price action, right, we can kind of see a change in order flow. We have this 3 minute SIBI being respected, and then once we close above or below this series of up close candles, this was that 8:30 news driver. That's when you can see the change in order flow, right? We close below here, and we create a SIBI. We're using the inversion gap as resistance as well. Once we close below another down close candle or up close candle, swing high should now not be violated. And so ideally this was the best entry, but I was waiting for more confirmation, and I wanted that hourly order block to get traded to yet. So you can see it wasn't 10 o'clock yet until here. So once we got this, I went short, stop loss at the swing high. I let it play out. The trade was now in my hands, right? We have the 3 minute SIBI being respected as well. A little bit small coloring outside the lines, but high resistance morning, so that's expected. And once we started to get some speed and closures below this low, I knew that I was on sides. And once we took out London low here, my stop loss did go to break even. Um, just for my personal system and the high resistance liquidity day, yes, it could have came up and stopped me out. I would have been content if it would have. But all it did was reprice to this 5-minute FEG inside of here, a little higher, but you can see midnight opening price and this 15-minute breaker on the way down. Every bearish PD ray, if you're on side, should hold, and you guys can see that I ended up having my take profit hit, which was this 566.50 level. That was my 1.5R, and the 1 hour rejection block ended up rejecting price back into the range. So I'm very happy with how I managed this trade. Very simple logic, nothing fancy whatsoever, just higher time frame key level, flip and order flow after you get the change in the state of delivery on the hourly time frame, and that's when I knew to drop into the lower time frame to target the pools of sell side liquidity. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.